Hey, you
Wrong
guys
overlay?
hear me?
Oh, great.
Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof! Hi, I'm not Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
I'm Sean McDowell, and welcome to Game Mess Decides.
I have the wrong overlay up, and we are the last of the Nintendogs. On this episode, we're going to be talking about Metroid Prime 4, probably, and that's going to be most of it. Neither of us have really played it. I guess I played a demo, but I'm ready to freak out. Like, I'm ready to freak out.
Let's yell.
Yeah.
Let's get mad. That's what
Okay.
everyone else is doing who hasn't played it.
That's a good idea. We should just join the crowd. It's never backfired
Let's
on
get
anyone.
mad.
Okay. How you doing,
Is
Sean?
Mouse so annoying? Sorry. Hi, hello. Christian here. Why is Mouse so annoying, everybody?
Yeah, I guess they're still complaining about Miles being annoying. We can get into it, but I guess, like, let's start off with Sean. You told me, like, how are you feeling? How's your week going? How's everything?
Yeah, I was gonna say we were on a break there. So how was your? How are you doing?
It was pretty good. Hopefully this doesn't break anything while I get the right screen up. Oh, it did. It broke something. It broke something.
I can't see Jeff anymore. Oh,
Okay,
now I see you.
Yeah,
And
but now your
YouTube
head's too
sees
big.
a lot of my door.
Yeah,
I see a lot of the door behind
I can
me.
fix that. There we go. That's good enough. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I had a good Thanksgiving. It was
good.
Still busy. If I had time for games, I wouldn't know unless that game was Sectori. Basically, I got on a streak of doing 15 to 30-minute runs every chance I got, and it got bad sometimes where I'm like, okay, I got to put this down and play something else. But let me just do one more run, and then that would end up swallowing like an hour and a half at a time sometimes. So yeah, that was good though. I was happy to play that game. And then Thanksgiving itself was a lot of fun. All my teams lost, but whatever. I'm used to that. I'm a Detroit sports fan. But the food was good. We got the turkey from City Barbecue. Not regretting that at all. That was a delicious bird.
Was it just like normal turkey? Did they, dress up in any like barbecue adjacent way?
Yeah,
or anything like that?
Yeah, so they kind of like it's a barbecue place, so they do kind of a smoked turkey regularly. Now it's like you could just get the whole turkey breast. You could get like a whole turkey if you wanted to, but that would feed a ton of people. We had like less than 8 to 10, and this served 8 to 10, so we just got the turkey breast, and that it was delicious. It was a very good choice in my opinion. So yeah, I was happy with everything. How about you?
Yeah, same. I was so exhausted. We've been very busy, and so it was nice to just rest and sleep. Oh, I miss sleep.
Yeah, it was good.
Sleep so much.
Honestly, today was really good. We had a snow day, so I woke up, started like making some coffee in the morning, and was doing some stuff. I'm like, it's quiet, because like I usually get up before Steph. I'm like, Steph's not getting up yet. What's going on? And she apparently got the message, and I did not, that school was canceled. I was like, hell yeah, and I went right back to bed and got to sleep in this morning. That ruled.
I got up early to make sure our Prime 4 coverage was on track. Yep. And that was after staying up until undisclosed AM, making sure it was ready to go.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I was up in plenty of time for that, but I forgot you're an hour behind, so I probably was still sleeping. Yeah. Relatively speaking. Hey, we probably should just get into the Metroid Prime 4 stuff. First, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get all into that. And if you have super chats about it, send them in. We'll talk about everything here in a moment. All right, that's the wrong... Boy, this is just a good show here. Okay, we're back.
Oh, yeah, brother. I just
we're
jump
back.
into it. Oh, sorry. We're back.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing a break. My bad.
Yeah, I just was doing one of those quick breaks that you've been requesting. I figured those ones we could just like do it that way.
Thank you.
Good podcast.
Good podcasting is what we do over here. Is it still like an 82 on Metacritic or OpenCritic? I don't know.
Okay, let's see. OpenCritic.com. 81.
It's approaching 70s territory. And it like if it continues this way, it could end up there. Like seriously, it could. There's like 35 reviews this morning. We'll see.
It's approaching 80. Like overwhelmingly, it's like 8 out of 10s for Metroid Prime 4.
A lot of 8 out of 10s. Yeah, there's other than this 5-star review from Giant Bomb Stan Reichert, Logan Plant at
And
IGN.
some nines, a few nines.
Yeah, there are a few nines, but there's a lot of 8s. IGN at Logan Plant says 8 out of 10. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is an excellent, if relatively uneven, revival that reaches heights worthy of the Metroid name in its best moments. Steve Watts at GameSpot said, high highs and middling lows make Metroid Prime 4's return uneven. That's I've heard this a lot. I've tried to look in to like what is uneven, and mostly what I've been able to suss out, maybe I don't have the full picture, is that people think that the story is uneven. Some of the interactions with the NPCs that many people do end up liking, even some of the more negative reviews, they're still like, that's a little bit uneven. The beginning is a little bit linear. That's not what we come to Metroid for. I'm not seeing anything that's making. Hey, listen, these are what the reviews say.
I know. I got stuff to say. I know. You want to like read more of the reviews out? We can do that first.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, is there anything that's making people pull their hair out that they hate about this game? I don't know. I just need to play this thing. That's really where I'm at. I'm actually. Look, we're doing the show. Happy to do the show. We could talk about this. I don't really want to talk about it, Sean. I just want to play it. I'm like, this sucks actually that we're at this point.
It's the job, Jeff.
I know.
The job.
No, hey, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to make a living doing this, of course. But like in this moment right here, after the reviews, before I've played it, this is the most miserable moment to be in for a game that you're looking forward to, especially if like the reviews aren't exactly what you thought they would be. It's like I just need to find out for myself. How are you feeling overall? And then if you want to rant, feel free, go to town.
Well, okay. So this is really interesting. I guess you kind of brought it up, so I'll lead with, a lot of people are talking about the characters, like the crew, as Dan puts them, the crew, and these characters that you meet throughout the adventure. And over and over, I see in these slightly more negative reviews that these characters are a problem. They are the thing holding me back, because you kind of said on the Bombcast today that you were reading through some of the reviews. I admittedly haven't read as many as I would like to, since I was, I was working a lot on getting our coverage up and like doing some
great work by the way
stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. For our coverage over at Giant Bomb. And so I haven't been able to read as many, but like you said on the Bombcast, I dove into some of the more positive ones, some of the more negative ones to get a feeling. And like you said, it seems like everyone's kind of saying the same things, just interpreting it differently.
Yes.
They're all saying the same things are in the game. It's just a matter of, is this a problem or is this okay? And it's so bizarre because this is what is making me, I'm still super excited because, I've talked to Dan about it during the review period and I'm like, yeah, that's Metroid Prime. That's what I'm looking forward to. But I'm curious now because if ever I was going to ask, are talkative characters and like guidance a problem in this video game, I would ask Dan Reichert, because he would tell me
yes,
if he would be too chatty and a problem.
Extremely annoyed by that. Yeah.
And he's the one standing on the mountaintop saying it's not a problem. My mind is blown, Jeff.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in Bizarro world right now.
John Linneman's review also very positive. I kind of went through that one when I was kind of resting earlier tonight, and he said a lot of the same things. Like he's someone that holds Metroid Prime in high regard as well, and he was talking about comparing it to Metroid Prime 3. He's like, a lot of this stuff continues in spirit from Metroid Prime 3, but it's better than Metroid Prime 3, a game I started, by the way, over the weekend, over Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I kind of got the intro of that and like got a good idea. I'm like, okay, this isn't as bad as I was even expecting, and right now I'm expecting Metroid Prime 4 to handle these things a little bit more elegantly in terms of introducing characters or whatever. I think I'm probably going to end up really liking this game, which is also annoying because it's like if I come in there and it's like suddenly my game of the year, I'm going to have to deal with the Nintendo shill stuff, but whatever. Yeah, I have a Nintendo podcast. I'll be a Nintendo shill for sure. But it's like, it's so much easier when it's like everyone just agrees this is a good game. We just go forward. I think my like feeling right now is that people brought in a lot of baggage to this game and it needed to like hit every single note exactly the way people wanted it to for it to kind of get through this review period. Because again, I'm just not sure exactly what all the big negatives are beyond some people don't like the story. and the characters.
Right. Yeah, and like it is important to note that we are kind of speculating and reading what others are
Yes.
saying because we haven't played it yet. So
Yes.
this is conjecture basically at this point. But first of all, yeah, it's important to find the reviewers whose views you align with. You say this a lot, and it's something that I've really taken to heart because I agree with it. That you should seek out the reviewers who have the same taste as you or the same outlook as you do, and then see what do they have to say about it. And when it comes to Metroid, I feel like, yeah, people like Dan, people like John are people who I look to and say like, oh yeah, these guys approach things the same way I do.
Right.
And so when I hear their reviews and they're both glowing and they both talk about like, I assume Dan and John have never even talked to each other. So when they are saying these same things in their reviews, I'm like, okay, so that's what I expected out of this. But baggage, I think, is the big word there, the key word there, Jeff. This is sort of where like this rant that's been stewing inside me has like stemmed from because we've joked about it for years now at this point. It's the origin of our relationship, Jeff, was basically like that one damned episode of Last of the Nintendogs. Most disappointing Nintendo game.
Yeah.
And I wrote in saying that was Super Metroid because
you're a troll,
of one specific thing. Yeah, I hate you. Because of the physics. And I was like, this is an all-time legendary game. I'll never take you away from it. But I have this one issue with it. And we joke about how blasphemy and everything like that. But the big thing is like I do legitimately think it's a bit of a problem when people put things up on a pedestal too much, because this is especially an issue with Metroid, because I'm a huge fan of the Metroid series. It is, I don't think you and Mike actually really know this about me and the audience, therefore. It is my favorite video game series and maybe the single most influential thing in my life.
I started getting that when you bought every single thing with Metroid on it at the Nintendo store. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's happening here.
John's bought everything Metroid from the past 10 years. Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's that 1-2 punch back in the day of Metroid Prime and Fusion is the reason I love video games. It's the reason I love sci-fi so much. It's been huge for me. And so I'm a fan of the Metroid series, not just, Super Metroid, not just Metroid Prime 1. And I think a lot of people's views of the series as a whole come from the fact that they love those two games so much. Those two games that technically came out back to back. It was Super Metroid and then it was directly into Metroid Prime. Like that. So they were very similar games. They don't look at the bigger picture. They don't want to see that Metroid can be more. There's more to the series. And I grew up being a little bit younger, knowing that Metroid could be a whole bunch of things. Like I didn't have that one viewpoint. I saw that Metroid Prime was a 3D game. Fusion was a 2D side scroller. They had spin-offs like Pinball. They had Hunters as like an online shooter on a handheld. I never thought that Metroid is this person who doesn't talk going through these levels and you get to an ending. I could see that there are many different things. So that's why in the preview period, it irked me a little bit that people say, this isn't Metroid. That's not Metroid. Because I'm like, where have y'all been the past 25 years? It is Metroid. There's so many different things it could be. And, it leads us to Metroid Prime 4. And it is not Super Metroid. It is not Prime 1.5. It is Prime 4, the sequel to Prime 3. And it's retro again. So even if it's different people, of course they were going to want to continue the studio's legacy and make something that does carry on what they did in 2, Hunters, 3, and technically even Federation Force, because like there was a story in there with Silex, and that leads us into this, and just, I don't know. This is all opinions. All reviews are opinions. People can feel however the hell they want, and I think they should. But I do think people got in a singular viewpoint of what the series should be, what they were expecting out of this game, and maybe that's why some people are let down. And I also think, looking at some of the reviews, this game is maybe a good example of why we also need even more varied voices in reviews. Because I do notice a lot of people with similar ideals with the games. And, this is something that I like to see, like with Lexi doing Start Menu and stuff like that, of like having a younger generation bring out these different voices And because I do see, especially the younger generation, say, hey, it really feels like people who call themselves Metroid fans are a bigger fan of the idea of Metroid rather than they are actually the series itself, Metroid. And so that's sorry, that's my rant. That's what I've been like really thinking about these past like couple months, really, to like almost a whole year of like how people are going to react to this game. And like we said, we haven't played it yet, so that I look forward to seeing how I land on it too, because I can't imagine that what Dan was saying is anything different than how I'm going to experience it, because we align that way.
Yeah, that's my expectation as well. It's like not, I don't always align perfectly with Dan, but when a lot of the things that are sort of deal breakers for him are also often deal breakers for me. So the fact that none of those were triggered by him is a good sign to me. And then the fact that he liked it as much, when he really likes something, that is usually when I align. So my expectation is still to go into this game and probably be blown away by it. I'm glad you said all that. I'm definitely at a point where I have this, I do put Metroid Prime on a pedestal, and it is because it's this masterpiece. And whenever I hear people about going back to it for the first time recently with Remastered, and they're often like, yeah, this is a masterpiece. That is something that, you kind of can't ignore when people go to play a game or try a new game that is supposed to be a follow-up to that. But you're right. It's been so much more. And it sounds to me, again, reading all these reviews, like they did a decent job serving all these masters. And that, Dan saying the game it reminded him the most of was Metroid Prime 1 and then Ocarina of Time. I don't know. Again, I go back to I just want to play this thing. I think that there's a chance that this sort of fervor falls by the wayside as the game comes out, and people are going to be pleasantly surprised to be like, oh, I thought I wasn't going to like this at all, and all this stuff that I was warned about in these reviews, sure, maybe I also don't like that for whatever reason. That's totally possible, but it's not as big of a deal as I thought it would be. That's my expectation, is that this game's probably going to do well with people who go to play it now, especially since like this will be a situation where now that it's not like a 90, this is the first Metroid Prime not to have a 90 for the main core series, 90 plus on Metacritic. A lot of people will not seek this out unless they were already interested in, so it'll be a little bit more self-selecting. Yeah. So I look forward to like that conversation as opposed to the one we're in right now.
Definitely.
Okay, let's see here. I saw some super chats coming in. We'll get the news out of the way, and then we'll get to those where I'm sure people have questions and have their own say about Metroid Prime. In the meantime, Nintendo is acquiring Bandai Namco's Singapore studio. Sounds like a deal to kind of take a bunch of payroll off of Bandai Namco's books. And so Nintendo is like, yeah, we'll acquire the studio, and we'll give you $770,000. That's it. It's a very tiny amount of money, relatively speaking. But now Nintendo will have Nintendo Singapore studios, and they will continue to help with things like they've been helping in the past, which is like providing a lot of art assets for games like Splatoon. They've done more than just that. They've worked with a bunch of different external companies and helped out on some Bandai Namco stuff as well, like Ace Combat 7. Maybe they're the ones to put that dog PNG in Ace Combat 7. If that's the case, then I'm a big fan of their work.
Good job, yeah.
Yeah, good job. This is Nintendo, again, shoring up their pipeline of content, right? Just making sure that if they've relied on someone in the past, they're not going to like sit around and let it collapse if that becomes a risk. And I assume that's probably what was being considered here. What do you think?
Yeah, because I've heard in passing, I haven't looked too much into it, that Bandai Namco is sort of just downsizing their games division.
I mean, it certainly feels that way. That's what this feels like.
Yeah, because like Tekken is the only game that they have made internally in like several years, is what I heard. Like, and obviously that's verifiable. I haven't bothered looking into it, but they are like mostly publishing nowadays. And so they're just looking to not necessarily have internal studios that they're worrying about. Presumably, not worrying about giving them work constantly and stuff. And Nintendo's been working closely with Bandai Namco for a long time. I think this is still unconfirmed, but it was like, heavily reported on that. Yeah, these guys were working on Metroid Prime 4.
Right.
And then of course we go all the way back to Yeah, I think the biggest example, I don't know if this was the first one. I'm trying to think of what it would have been, but like the biggest one was when Bandai Namco, it was announced that they were making Smash 4 in whole. Like, like Sakurai was on it, obviously,
Yep.
but otherwise the core team was Bandai Namco.
Yep.
And if you are working that closely, starting with one of your biggest IP and then doing a whole lot of other stuff with them, it does make sense to, like, tie the knot if
Yes.
if maybe these jobs were in danger or something, and Nintendo saw that and said, "Ooh, okay, well, we like these teams working on our game, so let's not just like a handout, not just like help them out. That's not how business works, but it's very strategically smart for them to sort of rescue them a little bit, I guess you could say, and bring them internally."
Yeah, and Nintendo, like every other one of these major companies that still makes big games, is even more frequently now than before producing games that have a lot of teams touching them. Metroid Prime 4 being a good example. I don't think in the credits that this Bandai Namco team was in there, but like Next Level apparently contributed to Metroid Prime 4 and things like that. So there's a lot of they know the benefit of having a bunch of external studios that it's like, oh, this is not just EPD4 or whatever doing the work on this game. Games are too big. HD assets, 4K assets now are too big, too time consuming. We need to be able to outsource or to spread out the workload. And I think they expect to do even more of that in the future. And this will ensure that they can do that in a way where it's like, oh, we can verify the quality of these people's work. We know that if we say we don't want AI, which who knows, Nintendo could one day wake up and say we're fine with that. But if we don't want that, because we're trying to make sure
it's antithetical to the way they make things,
and they've said as much.
They're still the toy company.
They've said as much, yes. So, but again, like we could wake up tomorrow, that could change. Whatever. Exactly. For now, if it's important to them to avoid stuff like that, they're going to want to work with people whose work that they've seen before, and they're like, we know you can deliver, and we know what it looks like. So that's these people. And I wouldn't read too much into it, although, yeah, I bet they're making a new Splatoon. So these people that help make Splatoon, they'll probably help with that because that's been one of the breakout hits for Nintendo over the last 10 years. So
do we know who's making Raiders at this point?
No, I not off the top of my head. No, I mean that's got to be at least produced by that EPD team that does that.
Yeah.
But who they're actually working with on that, I'm sure they're working with someone though. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Nintendo news for the most part. It is going to be Metroid dominated through the next week or so. In the meantime, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll read the super chats right after this. All right, we are back. Last of the Nintendogs. Still have the right overlay now. Let's get to those super chats, Sean, please.
Absolutely. First up from Lysagard, 13. Only time will tell, but I believe some people like the idea of a Metroid game more than an actual Metroid game.
Hey.
I actually trust Dan's judgment on this more than most. Excited to hear your takes, XOXO. Well, hey, that sounds familiar, Jeff.
Yep. I think that you kind of hit a nail on the head that a lot of people are like feeling. And, we'll see if it bears out. I'll be interested to see if like you, me, Mike get in this game. We play it and we're going to get on the other side like, yep, this is exactly what happened is people have a very specific idea, didn't meet that idea. This is trying some other things. It's all still Metroid, but oh man, and we'll be playing it tomorrow night if we stay up late. We'll see if I can do that. I'm 42.
I do have a physical copy ordered, but on the off chance I get a code as well, then I'll just fire that up first.
Yeah, if we get code, it usually comes like the next day, so we'll see.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So it'll be a wait anyways.
Yep.
But and just to, I remembered I wanted to clarify one thing. It's good to have that like that base level, that base ground when you're evaluating games. Like, just to be clear, that's good. And so if like you hold a game in high esteem, or in this case, like the idea of a game in high esteem, it's fine to have that be your baseline. But I think it's more important to just evaluate in the moment. How much do I like the experience that's being provided here? And then like ultimately, if it's in a series, like how much do I like this more or less than the others? And that can be a good comparison point.
Yep.
But, like a lot of what they're doing with Prime 4, I'm sure we'll get more questions about it. It's for a modern audience, It's for an audience who, this is a thought I had while making dinner. I don't see anybody like complaining that GTA 2 didn't really have any talking, and they're like, "Oh, this GTA 4 and 5, it's got so much talking nowadays."
Right.
Like, I know it's a different style of game, but I'm like, so some of these other genres, it's just what people expect and what people
Yeah,
want. So.
I think it's like it's so easy to fantasy book this like perfect follow up to Metroid Prime 1. Be like, oh, it could be even more moody and even more isolated and just looks even more intimidating. All of these things.
A game full of dread, maybe.
Yeah, and I just think it's easy to say that in our heads and to imagine that in our heads. To build a full game that needs to serve a bunch of different purposes and needs to be a good value proposition and have like a sort of arc to it, I bet it becomes a lot more difficult in that moment to deliver on that very pure idea of a Metroid Prime follow-up.
Exactly. From Scoopa da Poopa. Oh my. This question should be asked on 90s Disney, but I want to see this community's reaction. Mike Minotti, what is your opinion of Brendan Fraser? Mike?
Yeah, come on, Mike. He could be listening. Let's see if he calls me. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh God!
I don't know where I actually don't know where my phone is. Oh no, my phone's right there. Okay. I love Brendan Fraser. He was like, there was definitely a time in the 90s and early 2000s, I guess early 2000s, where he was like that era's Chris Pratt, where he was just in everything, and it was easy to get sick of him. But I liked so many of his movies, and The Mummy's an all-time classic. So I haven't seen that in Grip, and I keep meaning to watch it. I'm going to do it.
I don't know if people notice. I am Googling him right now because I'm like, what the hell else did he do other than The Mummy? I can't. I know he was in like every other thing. I just can't remember.
Encino Man.
Bedazzle?
Yeah.
Encino Man. Bedazzle?
Bedazzled, yes.
Okay.
Fuck.
George?
George of the Jungle.
Gods and Monsters, that homoerotic thriller. Oh, that was pretty good.
Right.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Sure. Mummy Returns.
Blast to the Past. Yeah.
He's not in Scorpion King, but his spirit is there. Is that what you're going to say?
You stole my fucking joke.
I just love thinking about the Scorpion King, Christian. You can't take that from me.
Same, brother. These movies are,
Mm-hmm.
They're of a time.
Next up is from Minotti's Fruit Emporium. Google Disney Happy Meal Toys 2025. They just came out today. 70 of them in all, 2 per blind box though. So good luck finding the ones you want.
What the fuck?
Mickey.
Really? Okay. I was just
Disney Happy Meal.
We just got Happy Meals yesterday for the girls, and they were still doing Zootopia 2.
I did see that, when I was there the other day.
And that was fun. Okay.
When I was there getting my free fries. Did you enjoy your free fries the day after Thanksgiving, Jeff?
Why are you doing this to me? This is so fun.
That joke was years in the making because I kept forgetting to go after the Packers anytime they beat the Lions.
Well, they hadn't really beat them, and they beat them earlier this season.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, they beat them this season. I forget how it played out last year.
They hadn't beaten the Lions in a couple of years, so it was literally years in the making. Yep.
Yeah. That was a good moment. Next up is from Antonio Morales. The Bears number one in NFC. A bunch of crying face emojis. You know what? We can all agree. Fuck the Bears, right?
It would have been so much easier if they had just lost to the Eagles, and then it would have been like, see, they're just a normal team. But then they beat the Eagles. Now I don't know what is up, what's down. There is clearly no God. This is the most fucked up NFL season. I hate it so much.
I wonder how people, even just like sports people who are from outside of our area, but certainly international people, feel hearing this rivalry between Packers, Bears, Vikings, and Lions, and just like how cutthroat Midwest sports are. Yeah,
there's probably an equivalent like northern like soccer club teams, football club teams in the UK. Maybe it's like that. I don't know.
I hear them talk about hams a lot on the BBC podcast. I have no idea what the hell that means.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I just sounds delicious. From Zombie Porn, can't believe Jeff drowned Mike in goat sauce. In goat sauce. I don't know what you actually.
He said coat me in it, and I fucking killed him in goat sauce. So that's why he's not here.
Good.
Yeah, you fucking gross.
Lord.
Good riddance. That's what we say.
Another one from Lysager. Yeah, 13. Send help. I can't stop playing Air Riders. It slaps.
Yeah, it's a game. The more you play it, the better it is. I want to say that's like you learn and understand it, but there's something more going on. I think it's just like the game's charms sort of reveal themselves a little bit more. There's so much going on, and you could tell that Sakurai is just, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna make my game the way I make my games, and I think I know I'm right, and so I'm just gonna do it. And you, like, at a certain point, you just gotta go like, yeah, he cooked with this. It's fun. It's a good game.
Did you see that John matched his freak and put out a 45-minute Kirby Air Riders video on Digital Foundry?
I'll have to check that out. I'll have to watch that.
I was listening to DF Direct, and they were talking about it, and John was trying to explain to Rich, it's not actually a racing game. It's so much more. And Rich is just like, see, I was confused because I thought that was the case because of all the racing I saw in the trailers.
Yeah, I saw some, maybe it was their video. It's like, what genre is Kirby Air Riders? Oh, no, it was the Besties. It was the Besties podcast. I'm like, oh, man, I don't know, guys. I don't know what genre it's in. Yeah.
Its genre is yes.
Yeah.
From Michael R. O'Leary, glad we got a real Metroid fan like Sean in here to talk Prime 4, since that fake fan Mike vacationed during launch. He might play Prime 4 as soon as he gets back. He might do one of those. He talked about that. He might do one of those streams like immediately when he gets back late night.
Yeah,
or
he was saying in Discord that he's itching to make some stuff. So he was like trying to get on game. Yeah, Game S Mornings and stuff.
Specifically, I'm itching to make content. I'm like, oh no, Mike, you're falling down the rabbit hole. Bud.
I'm not going to stand in his way, but you're right. Yeah, someone should do something. It's not going to be me though.
I'm always excited to get to talk about Metroid. I don't get to do it often because, as it turns out, Metroid doesn't come around often.
Right. Well, listen, once every 18 years, it's like cicadas, you know.
From one Lex Luddy. Shout out to the GB community for all the support recently.
Yeah, everyone keep turning up. Go check out Lex Luddy's Blue Sky for a link there. And it's Giving Tuesday, which on the radio today, they're like, it's Giving Tuesday. I'm like, what's Giving Tuesday? Like it's like, oh, it's because there's that term now of kids saying, oh, it's giving whatever. And I'm like, oh, you mean capital G? It's Giving Tuesday. And we're supposed to be donating to stuff. So there you go. Go Lex Luddy's thing.
Who's on first? Okay.
Yes, I was very confused.
From Brad H. Reviews lower than expected on Prime 4. Lots of mixed. I mean, okay. This is not calling Brad out here. This is also a problem, Jeff. 80s is great. By definition.
But if you look at the Metacritic page, it does file several of the reviews in the mixed category. And it's like, a lot of times we'll get a game that's like low 80s and there's like 2 mixed reviews. This has got a handful. It's got 13 mixed reviews versus 56. What is
defined as mixed, though?
Yeah, they have I think it's 70 or below for on Metacritic anyhow. I think that's right. Maybe it's 75.
I mean, again, over 80% of them are positive, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so no, it's I think it's 75 or below. So there you go, or 74 or below, I should say. So yeah,
okay, I see.
Yeah,
so it would be a review that's 6 to 7, 6, 7.
Yeah, there it is. Maybe that's people just wanted to do the 6-7 thing. Yeah,
7 is still a good score.
There's still a Game Pro in Germany. Game Pro Germany. Metroid Prime 4 is a fun mix of action and puzzles, but it's severely hampered by modern design design decisions. Yeah, that's the same review over and over again. Again, no shade. If people feel that way, they feel that way. But it's like, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
From Steven Sullivan, happy birthday, Britney Spears. She's a Metroid fan, I bet.
Oh
yeah,
for sure. Yeah, Kevin Fetterman is as well, her ex-husband. Huge Metroid family over there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Britney's got the tribal tattoo SP that she plays Fusion on all the time. Come on.
Yeah, without a doubt. What's Brie Larson's the one that's like a shoot Metroid fan and wants to play Samus, all that stuff. That would be great. She would kill that.
Got close. She played another space blonde, so maybe she'll get there one day.
I hope so.
From Allie Miracle, Other M really fucked these gamers up, huh?
Yeah. definitely. Which, what is other M's Metacritic? You go. I'm gonna look that up.
Probably
Real quick.
too high.
Yeah.
This is a weird point where me and Mike diverge. Where I'm like, it's not a.
Oh my god, it's a
good
79. They're basically neck and neck. There's no way.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Again, I know it's hard. It's not apples to apples because it's like all these things are different times, different reviewers, different everything. There's no way. I have not played this game. There's no way you can say, oh, this is about as good as other M.
Look, I will say another M since we're talking Metroid today. I maintain it would be a totally good game if it was not Metroid.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, if you want to see something that's not Metroid, it's other M. And not to mention, it's a gigantic character assassination of Samus. That's like the most offensive part.
That's definitely the worst part. I played that recently. I didn't beat it or anything, but I played a bunch of it. Mike was watching me, and as he was watching me, he was like, maybe I defend this a little too much. So even he kind of recognized the game's faults at this point.
Yeah. From Cody Bishop, been trying to get into Dread, but it's punishing. And you see, that's exactly why studios make concessions.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to meet people halfway, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'll say it's worth getting through it. Part of that is the Metroid experience of, hey, I feel overwhelmed early on. Although that game does it maybe a bit in a kind of a heavy-handed way with the EDs or Emmys. The Emmys, that's what they're called.
Emmys,
yeah. And I bet that's what they're talking about. That's the punishing part, because you just got to learn the parry system and stuff like that. It's a little bit more forgiving than you're probably realizing, and just work on escaping them. And if you get past those a couple of times, you'll get to a point where it's like, oh, I'm upgrading everything, and I'm just feeling more capable, and you'll get into the swing of things.
Yeah, and also, there's a bit of a different case because, like a 2D Metroidvania at this point is, and yes, I know I just called Metroid a Metroidvania, but a 2D game like that is more for the hardcore audience. And also, it's right there in the name, Metroid Dread. It is supposed to make you feel a little fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, from Hilliard Hendricks. In other news, Scooble trade rumors are heating up.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this too much, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting. I have not been. Yeah, whatever. Just you're the Yankees. Just fucking do it. Just get it over with. Gross. Oh man,
this guy.
Oh, that's gonna suck.
What do you want to go to the Dodgers?
Come on, I don't. I'd rather just die. I guess. Whatever.
It's wild that Christian's more into American baseball than I am.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I had to say this because it's annoying me. Here in Argentina, I started seeing people wearing baseball stuff, and I'm like, cool. It's catching on.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just.
I guess I was just assuming that it was somewhat popular. Oh, it's the clothing. Okay.
It's just the clothing, and I'm getting bamboozled by these losers all the time. This girl at this party had a Yankees hat and a cap, and I was like, oh, no. It's just like, oh,
right.
Like
it's fashion. Like she's seen a bunch of famous people wearing the same stuff, right? Baseball's hugely popular in like the Caribbean and stuff like that, and I guess I just assumed that would transfer over to most of South America. I know it's popular in like Venezuela and stuff like that, but that's a little bit more Central America, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Baseball's fairly international. So.
Oh yeah, very. Yeah.
My recently acquired hobby is not your resin. It's not your cosplay. I don't know, something like that.
I'm from a baseball city. Oh, you mean the other person?
No, I'm just the Argentinians.
Okay. From Brockness Monster, need an update on the Skibbity toilet movie, please. Prayer emoji.
Yeah, that feels like one that is either certainly never going to happen or will just pop up and we'll be like, wait, that came out? Because I don't think that's going to make waves at this point. I think I saw some Black Friday deals that were looked suspiciously like clearance sales for Skibbity toilet toys. I'm not sure that's as hot with the kids as it once was.
Yeah, I just had to Google Killer Bean out yet? Because that's another one of those things where I'm like,
oh yeah,
that Killer Bean game, did that ever happen?
I don't think it did.
That's gonna be launching to early access?
Sure, whatever. At this point, like when though? Does it have like a real early access date, or is it like still coming soon?
Okay. Coming soon.
I'll believe when I fucking see it.
Sure. From Zombie Porin. So, how are y'all planning to play Metroid Prime 4? Docked or handheld? 4K 60 or the 1080p 120? Regular or mouse controls? And what if you get to stream it on Giant Bomb before Mike can?
Yeah, I thought that would be fun, but he would be really mad, and I don't need Mikey to be more upset.
Which is also funny.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But right now, it's like if I upset him, he gets genuinely annoyed. If other people upset him, he pretends he's not genuinely annoyed. So like he's not afraid to show me. He's like, you're pissing me off, and I don't want to deal with that.
Well, that's why we have Dan do it, because he'll be shoot hot.
100%.
But Dan won't care.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, that's the move. And Mike's doesn't have his grimace suit or is not within arm's reach of Dan, so you can't put him in a headlock again. So that's good for us and our illegal means. I'm going to mostly probably play handheld. I'll play it on the TV here or there, but I mostly play games handheld. I will use the gyro aiming a little bit. I suspect there's a chance I turn it off just because my brain was not super wired for gyro aiming. I don't even use it in Splatoon all that much. I know. But it's, it'll be that. I probably won't do any of the mouse control stuff. It's going to be too much of a hassle to get a Surface in front of me or something like that.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm probably actually playing it on my monitor here because my OLED TV is starting to have some issues, but I now have an OLED monitor. It's a 1440p OLED monitor. And so I'm thinking, when watching John's video, I was like, he's saying that like the only difference between two modes is the resolution and obviously the frame rate increase if you go down 1080p. I'm like, oh, if that's the case, maybe I will do 1080p 120 because, like I won't get the full 4K. It could be downscaled. I actually don't know how well the Switch 2 does that. So I'll switch between them. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards 1080p 120 just because it's still wild that that's a thing I can do.
Yeah,
with
I kind of want
to
see that
game
too,
officially.
Yep, for sure. Is the Switch 2 screen 120 hertz?
Yeah,
it is,
so
right?
In handheld,
man.
So I believe it's. I just saw this today. I think it's the full 1080p 60 in handheld mode or 720p 120.
Okay,
I think
I'll fuck with that. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah. And then Pro Controller with motion controls. I'm a big Splatoon player, so I've gotten very used to the gyro controls. But it looks like it is because Dan said this. It is lock on, and then you sort of like move out of the dead zone that you've assigned with the gyro controls to like move the cursor a little bit if you want to like do a specific aiming. So that seems good. Right.
The enemies will have weak points off the center, so the whole point is to like aim in that direction while locked on. So yeah, you'll want the gyro or mouse or something to do that.
Yeah. From Epic Open World, can't wait for Grubb to go on the VGC podcast and yell at Andy. What do the British know about Metroid? Everyone must have the same feelings.
That sounds good to me. I'll do it. Yeah, you're right. I think you might be joking, but I'm dead serious. I need to go correct that boy. He also was like skeptical of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and he was wrong about that. He's just got bad opinions.
He only gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
Exactly.
Where's the 5th star, Andy?
Where's the 5th star? And he gave this one 3 stars. So, man, it's that tea. It's poisoning their minds.
That checks out.
Yeah.
And all the hams. From Last Geek, Grubb, as a UPS driver trying to make video game content on the internet, you are an inspiration. One day I hope to be just like you.
Yeah. Hey, I was never a driver when I worked at FedEx. I worked at a sort facility, but yeah, sure, absolutely, we are brethren. Just keep at it. That turns out if you're persistent and don't go away, eventually you're the only person left that people can hire. So hey, hi. That's how it works.
I actually thought you were a driver.
I was a driver in many other places.
Was it FedEx that you drove?
So I was a FedEx. I never worked at UPS. I worked at FedEx as an assort facility. So things would get unloaded from a plane. They would come down in front of me, and there would be 6 conveyor belts behind me, and I would throw it at that. And then later, completely separate from FedEx or UPS or Postal Service, I worked as a city courier. Actually just dropped, like going point to point. A lawyer would have paperwork here, needs it signed that day and brought back, I would track it across the city and bring it back to him and stuff like that. So,
okay.
And then
I didn't realize that means that we have similar backgrounds in that department because I was in shipping and receiving.
Sure.
Before,
Yeah, you would know exactly what it looks like. Yes.
Yeah, for a while. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That was 22 years ago is when I did that FedEx job. Fuck that. That sucks.
Oh, I was gonna say that was 2020 when I did that. Yeah.
Fuck, the Chappelle Show was very hot then. That's all we were saying to each other. There's quotes from that show. So yeah, that's where I was.
By the way, we have breaking news in the chat. One Tolkodo says, "Hi, I'm in like for Donkey Kong Ride."
Oh man, I wish I was in like for Donkey Kong Ride.
Only in like, not in love.
No, not in love. Does the Donkey Kong drink have alcohol in it, Mike? You doing okay over there? I hope you're having a good time, buddy.
Look, either way, I'm sure the alcohol is flowing. Okay, let's see where we leave off. Antonio Morales is back. There's clearly a god. The Pope is from Chicago.
Fuck, that's way worse. Yeah, I gotta say, I love Chicago Pope. Chicago Pope is
that's good.
I just imagine him playing Mortal Kombat at a Chicago arcade. I know he probably didn't, but I imagine him doing that. It's like he could have. Is the point for me. So yeah.
I mean, he's a Catholic, priest. It's not like they fuck around. Those
Yeah.
They cut loose sometimes, in some ways.
I hope so.
From Steiner, started playing Armored Core 6. Almost gave up on the first boss, but kept trying. This might be the first From game I like.
Oh boy, that's a good game. That's a game. Maybe you're bringing it up here because you saw it in my top 10 list over on DQ Deals or whatever. Yeah, that's a game I think about every day. It's a one that's like I should just go replay it because it's just so perfect. I don't know. I love that game.
I wish I liked that game more. It's just like the aesthetics, it's like very gray military until you get to like some of the set pieces that are very good looking, and that it was a little too much for me because I did like the gameplay. It was very fun to play. Which usually I don't say that about From games. I usually don't like the way they feel.
Right. It's pretty stock standard military sci-fi, and Star Wars and Starship Troopers and all that stuff. I'll take sort of any flavor I can get of that. And then, yeah, you're right. There's some stuff under the surface. Like once you get to those set pieces that reveals there's a ton more going on here. So that really hit for me.
The drama is very Gundam too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't notice that. From Tuber, is Giant Bomb out of Nintendo jail or just Dan? Rip Peepo.
We're on a Nintendo jail. I don't want to make a big deal out of everybody. So yeah.
Mike can't keep us down. He's not here anymore. That's why we got rid of him this week.
We had not had early review copy for a while, and this is our first one in a long time. And we're just gonna be cool about it. Cool.
Yep. Yeah. Be chill. Be cool, y'all.
It's the gate opening back up. That's right, Michael. That's
From Cody Bishop, how about that Red Dead Redemption upgraded? So what happened there? I don't like either of the Red Dead games, so I'm not familiar with it.
I think they updated for PlayStation. Yeah, go ahead.
I never gave Red Dead 1 a fair shot because that was like I didn't have a 360 game. Okay, like I know people say like that's the one, and then people who don't like 2 are like no, one's still good, one's still worth checking out.
Yeah,
you should give 2 a chance to.
I think you'd probably like 1. 1's a pretty solid game, and it's let me see here. This is from Rockstar Games. Red Dead Redemption out now on Netflix. Is this what people are talking about?
Sick. Okay, no. This is coming back to me. I did hear some podcast talking about Grant in the chat reminds me of PS5.
Yeah,
Switch 2.
Right, there was a PS5 and okay, that's right. Is that like it has other upgrades in it or something like that? I guess whatever.
Well, I mean, it's a port to those systems. So I assume it just runs
better. Yeah, the backwards compatible version on Xbox. I guess it was on Xbox One, but an Xbox Series X and S is and has always been fantastic. The moment that they had backwards compatibility for that, it was really good.
Yeah, this is coming back to me that was a talking point because they've like trickled it out to newer systems. Like they got PS4 port, but not an Xbox One port because Xbox already had the backwards compatibility.
That's right. Yep.
And then Jedi Moss 4 sneaking one in here. Nintendo just added a music volume option to Mario Kart World. And instead of a slider, the options are normal and loud. Is Nintendo the funniest company ever?
They are absolutely. They're the weirdest and funniest.
Yeah.
Those are also the volume settings on Dan Reichert, and normal's also too loud. It's a real problem that we have to deal with.
Yeah, louder.
There was a big patch for Mario Kart World. I think they edited some tracks.
Really?
Yeah, I like this just happened. I didn't get a chance to really look, so I was gonna see if I can check the news real quick. All right.
Is it because people were skipping too much?
I don't know if they if there was any obvious oh, this is why they had to do that. I'm not sure, but let me see if I can.
Mario Kart World is an interesting story because I don't think Nintendo's ever changed a first party game this much in response to fan feedback.
Yeah, the Koopa Troopa Beach has 2 laps now instead of 3, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look closer exactly what was happening here. I gotta say, I am itching a little bit to go back to Mario Kart World. It's as we get kind of close to the end of the year and we got to have some fun hangout streams. That might be a good one to go back to at least one more time.
It is still Mario Kart, so it still feels good at the end of the day. I do genuinely prefer Sonic Racing Cross Worlds as an overall kart racer though, because it kind of just is more Mario Kart 8, which is the formula I prefer.
Yep. Man, they also edited the way Koopa Troopa Beach connects to every other track around it. So I don't know, weird.
Interesting. Yeah, that is the kind of thing I feel like they just need to do more of. Just have more of the traditional experience mixed in with the connecting track experience.
Yep.
I know. But that is it for now for the super chats, Jeff. Thanks for everybody who got those in there.
Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. If you send in more, we'll have Sean read the rest at the end of the show tonight. In the meantime, we are going to take another quick break. We're going to come back. We have a mailbag to get into. Some more messages, more things you all want to talk about. I'm ready to do it. We'll do that right after this. All right. Still last of the Nintendogs. Jeff, Sean, we're going to get into that mailbag now. Let's do it, Sean. What do we have here?
Well, I don't know. Nobody fetched the mailbag. What's going on here?
I gotta be honest. This bit now. I'll do it for Mike.
Go.
All right. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So you have to pull me back. I can't stop myself. So.
Of course. Yeah. I know.
I got mail for you. There you go.
A lot of stuff in the mailbag, a lot of entries in the mailbag. So I think, you know what? I just sorted them. I unfortunately did not sort them by Metroid or non-Metroid. I think we're just going to go down the line until we get tired and want to go to bed.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
All right. So first up here is from Eden. Can you date the bike? Should you be able to date the bike? When will we date the bike?
Yeah.
They didn't name the bike. It has a name.
It has a name. To me, that says it turns into a woman, and eventually, you do marry her. That sounds right.
Kamen Rider. In the last Kamen Rider, and Kamen Rider says the bike turns into.
We should have known. We should have known what we were walking into.
This was collusion. Eden probably worked with him. I mean, of course you should date the bike. You should be able to date everything.
Fuck that bike.
Tommy Pencils, how come no one else seems to have made a Metroid Prime game? Yeah, there's been games that have shades of it, but nothing else really has had that mix of first-person strafe shooting with exploration and scanning for story. Yes, what's the closest we got is
I was just thinking
different combat, but Batman Arkham?
Batman Arkham Asylum, Jedi Fallen Order was kind of had the map and everything. They tried to do some of that. There's no 1-to-1. That's for sure. And I was driving around tonight and I was doing that fantasy book, and it was okay, if I was going to make the exact follow up to Metroid Prime 1 that everyone is kind of saying that they're asking for, it's what would you do? And I started doing that, and it's I would add some Soulsborne stuff, and it's oh no, I'm already messing it up. People will get mad at me. Oh no, but that's just what happens.
Sidebar, I like Chuck's fan theory in the chat that Viola is dating the motorcycle persona. I think that's good. I like that.
The motorcycle persona? Is there a...
I've shown you this. Yeah, in Persona 5, one of the people's personas is just a motorcycle.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, they're cross-game dating. Sure.
Yeah. From Jamie H. Christmas Eve, in Prime 4, is there a story so far style catch up when you boot up the game? I played 1 and 2, but was foolishly waiting for 3 to come to Switch. So now I'm debating whether to hook up the Wii U or just start 4. I don't believe there is, in part because the story doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they will set up as much of the story that matters, which is, hey, this guy from Metroid Prime Hunters is back and he's doing some shit. You don't need to know much more. And then if you want to know more, just go read a wiki. You'll be fine. There's probably a story synopsis on giantbomb.com's wiki.
There's a video.
Absolutely.
There's a video out there.
Yeah.
I say this as a huge Metroid lore nerd. The quote unquote story in these games is usually it's the difference between plot and story.
Yeah.
Metroid games have a plot. They don't necessarily have a story. And it's like if you want to know what happened throughout all of the Hunters games, all of the Prime games up to this point, Hunters was a little different, but Prime 1, 2, and 3 was this thing called Phazon. It's kind of like the symbiote from Spider-Man, but it's also an energy source. It made Dark Samus. Samus beat Dark Samus. Here's Prime 4.
Yeah, right. And they're using Phazon, like the Galactic Federation's using Phazon and a bunch of stuff, and I bet that won't go wrong in any ways. So
yeah, exactly. Like Prime 4, it continues a little bit of the story threads that have been there, because Salix was in Hunters and then made cameos in 3 and Federation Force to let you know that he'll be back to do something. But 4 is kind of a fresh start, so you can hop right in. Next up from Joyzy. Now that Mike's gone, can we all agree Forrest Gump is a bad movie? No,
I like Forrest Gump. I think it's a simple movie. I think it's like, I think I get why people don't like it. I absolutely do. I like it. It's not that I just enjoy it. Oh, it's a bad movie. I enjoy it. No, I think it's a good movie and I enjoy it. But I do understand where people are coming from.
Yeah, so,
it's a crowd pleaser. I think it's fine for someone to be a crowd pleaser.
Exactly,
sometimes.
right. Yes. It's vanilla. It's not going to offend anybody.
Have you ever heard of having fun?
Yeah, right?
No.
Man, having fun that's so sick.
That's for children. I can't do that. I can't afford to be made to look ridiculous. That'd be absurd.
Oh my God. From someone in chat someone say boomers love self-glazing movies. Like, come on, man.
It's sure. That's probably also true. I'll tell you,
true, yeah.
Like Yellowstone is like the epitome of that, and I despise that show. But Forrest Gump is just like, I don't know. I like to see people doing fun, interesting things, and then all of the hooks to history are cheesy, but in a way that I enjoy.
Yeah, it's just connected tissue.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Yep.
From Nintendogs, this year was huge for indie games, with games like Hades 2, Silksong, and Blue Prince taking huge amounts of the spotlight when they each released. What was a good indie game that released this year that you thought didn't get enough attention?
Wait, what's that? Go ahead. What was that, Christian?
Pipistrello.
Oh, Pipistrello, sure. The game I'm playing the most right now continues to be Sectoria. I think more people probably actually should check that out. It's not just this is for people who were too into the leaderboards for Geometry Wars. It's a legitimately really good game. I don't know. Beyond that, there's probably some stuff. I might check my Steam library real quick. Sean, do you have one?
I am scrolling back through my calendar right now because I keep track of major game releases that way, and I'm trying to think. There's been smaller releases, but I don't know about indie games specifically that didn't get enough attention, because there are ones that got a lot of attention that I think are awesome. Like me and my friends play so much Peak, but like Peak is almost like it's like every other week we play that for our game night, because the guys just fell in love with it. I'm like, sick, I got you guys to play a game. We're in there for $8 and we just like talk, and funny to see the Looney Tunes physics kick in. Like, that's great. That's good stuff. Coming up this month, don't miss Unbeatable. I've been following that for like 5 years now, and every demo I play looks like it's been fun. It looks sick. I just can't see how that doesn't stick the landing. I hope it sticks the landing, so keep an eye out for that. I will say preemptively.
That No, I'm Not Human game did pretty well, but I wonder if people are still talking about that. I
did forget about that. So yeah, good call there.
Yeah, and there's a couple that like I meant to check out, like Mortal Sin, I heard, or this Caput Mortem game that people really liked. I never checked those out. I probably not going to have time before the end of the year. But yeah, there's probably some of the other ones.
Yeah. Check that Bakihama. There's a
Yeah.
Punch Out.
I was just staring at that. I was just looking at that and being like, oh yeah, I never actually played that. I'll install it at the very least. Maybe I'll make some time for it.
Cool. From Slain, which Nintendo character would win in a fight? Metroid or Zelda? Oh, we're doing this. Metroid might win from
she
a
is
distance.
Metroid now, all right? After Dread, she is Metroid.
That's the point. She was Metroid.
Yeah.
Like, it's over. The saga's done.
Yeah.
Anyways. Metroid Jeff might win from a distance. He has a cool laser gun, and Zelda's arrows won't budge against Metroid's metal armor. Though if Zelda gets close with his Mr. Sword, he might be able to hit a weak spot in Metroid's robot body. What do you guys think? I'm in pain.
Yeah, no, I agree with every word of that. Like, how can you argue against such sound reasoning?
From BTL, any guesses as to what the demon statue thing for the Game Awards will be? Pure hopium guess and most realistic guess.
That's just Chef,
yeah,
backyard.
I think that's just him unleashing his Canadian magics on us. That's my real guess. My hopium guess, I don't know, because it's like, what has that vibe that is not, God of War was a bit of a stretch, but even that's like, I kind of see it. But when it was lit up all glowing and satanic, like, I'm like, well, it's Diablo, and everyone was saying it's Diablo.
Makes sense.
But
I like Lexi's guess of Sorrows.
Yes, right. Sorrows is the one visually. That feels like pretty plausible at this point, just because again, that it looks right. And they're gonna put a weird statue in the desert. I guess they would
Doom
for that
DLC?
game.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So much for a DLC.
I don't know.
It looks Doom adjacent.
It's possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
In terms of like my pure hopium, I just have no idea where to go with it. I really don't.
From Big Tony, it's hard to believe that we somehow got 3 different Ninja Gaiden games this year. That's right. That were all very good. We got the he's saying we got a remake, a 2D game, and a sequel. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Ragebound, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's also hard to believe that 2 of the new games had different protagonists than Ryu Hayabusa. That's true. If we get another game in 3 to 4 years, is it possible that we get a new main protagonist to fully succeed Ryu? And more importantly, how will this affect LeBron's legacy? Thanks.
Yeah, I think that they could try a new main protagonist, but I think they would always go back to Ryu. But I don't know. What did you play 4?
I'm struggling with 4 a little bit. It's not quite clicking with me. I'm still checking in on it. It's weird that the action game I'm really into this year is actually Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors is pretty good.
Age of Imprisonment slaps,
yeah,
Jeff.
It's a lot of fun.
Maybe I'll talk about that at the end, but yeah, that's a very fun action game that isn't as Muso, as Dynasty Warriors, as some of those games usually are. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4. I've never been the biggest Ninja Gaiden fan, specifically like the 3D games. I prefer the 2D games for those. And so I loved Ragebound. I thought Ragebound was great. But yeah, 4 didn't really click with me. So
I didn't even really try it because I was never a huge Ninja Gaiden fan ever. The 3D games as well.
Yeah, I was playing 4, but then Arc Raiders came out and kind of made my whole month.
Yep.
I think like Ryu is so iconic, especially like the black leather Ryu from the 3D games. I don't think he'll ever truly be gone, but I would like to maybe see I forget his name, but the protagonist of Ragebound, make an appearance in a 3D game. I think that'd be cool.
That's what I would expect. It's like they might try something like that, and then they'll have a mode where you play as Ryu, and then he'll be the main protagonist again, and they'll follow up if they keep going this route.
Next up is from Lenny Cool Dick Denver. Hey Jeff, who let Sean out of the editing hole? Grubb.
That's me.
And Sean, shout out the Detroit Lions for being mid and getting me free French fries. McDowell. What are your top 3 most anticipated games for next year?
God, man,
it's
December, so we can start thinking about this now. Yeah, I know. You go to the Internet Games database.
Sure, there you go.
What is? Let's see here.
Upgraders. Oh wait, fuck! I don't have any. I don't have upgraders anymore.
Resident Evil Requiem is an early standout. I think that'd be easy to call out. I am ready to check out Soros. I've said before, but I bet this one is going to address all the problems I had with Returnal, and they'll probably make a really solid roguelite. So I'm expecting that. Beyond those, though, I'm like trying to think what else what was even coming here.
Like no fire.
Yeah.
If that comes out, yeah.
I am looking at the chat for suggestions, and yeah, Pragmata, that's been the one that I've been eyeing for a long time now from Capcom. I think it looks sick. As I mentioned at the top of the show, sci-fi is my jam. I think it's almost guaranteed that we get Pokemon Gen 10 this year, and if it is those rumored games, I really want to see how those turn out. I think that could be really cool, or a train wreck. So I am looking forward to whatever they do this year, assuming that they do, because 30th anniversary, that makes sense.
Tomodachi Life, that's my third one.
Oh, hell yeah. Now it's a video game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just going to see. And just... don't tell me. Keely, are these JPEGs? No. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, Wolverine. If that is...
Oh, yeah. I mean,
is that next year? I forget.
I think it's supposed to be next year. Yeah.
Okay,
it's next year.
Yeah. Insomniac just does good stuff, man.
Yep, I agree. They could, the Spider-Man games are my favorite first party other than Astrobot from Sony. So yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. From Doominal Crossing, Sup Dogs, Mount Rushmore of Samus flips soon. George Washington is Screw Attack. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's all I'd be able to say as well. Like, but yeah, Screw Attack definitely is an all-time flip in any video game.
Yeah, like, dude, flipping into an enemy and the lightning around you zaps their ass. Oh, so fucking cool.
Yep.
Okay. Darashi, a weird genie appears out of nowhere and offers you a choice. Okay. Two choices here, Jeff. One, for the rest of your life, you can only play video games that exist as of this very moment. Games that are out right now, from the beginning of time to this moment. You get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Or two, going forward, you're only ever allowed to play games that release after this very moment, which includes Metroid Prime 4, but you cannot play Prime 3, Prime 2, Prime 1, any of those, remakes, remasters. Any game from the past is out. So, Jeff, which one do you pick?
I guess it's a little tough, but it's not too like in a vacuum, separate from my ability to like make a living. I'm putting that aside. I would actually go with, for the rest of my life, I can only play games that exist as of this very moment. I would be going back. There are so many games that I've not played that have come out. There are so many games that I love and think about replaying all the time. I would be happy looking back. I think there's going to be amazing games. It feels like every year is kind of better than the last in a lot of ways. I'm sure I'll regret this decision, but I don't know. There's just so much good stuff in the past, and I don't think gaming as a whole is moving in a direction that is very in sync with what I want overall. So yeah, I'm looking back. How about you?
Yeah, same here. I already mostly play retro games when I'm not playing games for work nowadays. So yeah, by the numbers, there's so many games that it's impossible to play them all. So yeah, I definitely would look back rather than forward. Especially with the way the industry is going in a lot of ways. I think we're at the point where games should still keep coming out, to be clear, but I definitely could just live off of older games, retro games forever.
Yeah,
I'll bite that bullet and play the new games, and then I tell you if they're good or.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I like watching like Sean Shonson's videos as well, and it's like, I get why people are like so fond of the PlayStation. It's fun to have a console that's like, I'm still discovering games I have never even heard of before. That's a good time. So I would have a good time doing something like that. Yeah,
just watching his videos, I have a whole list of like PS1 games that I want to play that I think January or like our winter break here or whatever, next time I get a chance, I'm just going to start going through those.
Yep.
From Three Horses in a Trench Coat, Sean and Jeff, I come to you tonight with breaking news. Did you know that Metroid is a woman named Justin Bailey. Now, this is obviously a French name because of how fancy it sounds. Do you know what this means? Metroid is Nintendo's first French heroine.
Wow, you learn something new every day. There it is.
I look forward to her cameo in the Switch 2 port of Claire Obscura.
Yes, she'll be a cosmetic item for sure.
Dude, I'm trying to think of what the funniest possible way to do this would be. Zero Suit Samus with the helmet and the baguette strapped to her back and the sunglasses, I think is the way to go.
Yeah, that's a good look. It's the Zero Suit is like striped though, like all their bathing suits and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. From Jake Bakes Cakes. Howdy, Kings. There's still a lot more player feedback / sales numbers to gather, so I understand it's too early to ask this question, but I'm going to ask anyways. What are the next steps for Metroid? Do we see a 2D game next, a 3D game next? If we get another 3D game, what's more likely? Prime 5, a Prime reboot, or something new entirely? Thanks for being the best in the biz, and enjoy Prime 4 when it comes out.
I mean, I'll say what I want. I don't know what's most likely. I want Mercury Steam to get their heads out of their ass and stop being anything close to toxic, so that Nintendo can pay them without be worrying about getting in trouble to make a new 2D Metroid, a Metroid 6 or whatever it would be. And then I want Retro to get a chance to make a Metroid Prime sort of unshackled from the history of the production of Metroid Prime 4. I want them to be able to follow this up and really make the next one like sing. I don't know how likely that is, but that's what I want. What do you think?
I mean, I think the most likely thing is a 2D Metroid because I assume one is in development in some way right now. As to what it would be, Metroid 6 is so interesting because, like I mentioned, they wrapped up the Metroid story, as they call it. Like, literally the story of the organisms, the bioorganisms, Metroids, is done as far as they are concerned right now. So I'm curious what a Metroid 6, as in the next game that happens after that, would look like who the enemies would be. Because up to this point, everything has tied back to those little guys. So I'm curious what they would do there. But I've been thinking this for a while. I think I might shoot my shot and say the next one is a Fusion remake.
Yeah, that
was like rumored for a while there with Mercury Steam and stuff. So
that won't be surprising.
I think it's
I would love that.
Maybe most likely, yeah. From Chris 2K, happy Metroid Week, dogs. Apparently they changed Samus's voice actress for Prime 4 again, but fun fact, in Metroid Dread, Samus's voice actress is Nikki Garcia, who's not only from Spain, just like the developer studio Mercury Steam, but she's also the European Spanish voice for Google Maps.
Oh, wow.
Here in Spain, Samus tells us where to go, and we gladly follow her.
Of course.
P.S. Can't wait to finally play Prime 4 and judge it for myself. When reviews are a bit mixed like this, I often get more excited to play a game and form my own opinion. Love
same.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. I feel the same way right now. Not by this time tomorrow, but this time tomorrow plus 2 hours, we'll have it, and we can just find out for ourselves.
Exactly. And I'm at this point, I am just excited to play it too. Like I said, curious because of how divided it is. And I think I know how I'll fall based on everything I've said this episode. But yeah, still excited to check it out. From Lands, would you rather play? Would you play other M style Metroid on the condition that the story wasn't weirdly misogynistic this time around?
Yeah,
it's like the gameplay style. I assume they mean.
I mean, I would, as long as it's not like, we're getting that instead of a new 2D or a new Prime. Like, I don't want that to be. This is the Metroid game for this decade, but there was something there. If they could sort of tighten up the gameplay a little bit, it was a fine game to play. The story was just atrocious.
That was the big problem with it. I think they could make it work if they gave it another shot. But
yeah,
I definitely don't like that style of switching between basically 2D and turret Samus. I like the 2D and the 3D split that we have a little bit more.
Me too.
From Toshi, Cosmic Invasion, Metroid Prime 4, Octopath Traveler 2, Routine, Sleep Awake, Let It Die Inferno, and a big World of Warcraft patch all hit this week. Pretty crazy for the first week of December, huh?
Yeah, it's also kind of like the last week you can really do anything. A lot of these companies want to shut down for the year, so they're getting their stuff out right now, and then it does get pretty quiet after this. There's like that Terminator 2D No Fate games coming out a little bit later this month, supposedly. Mina the Hollow, I guess, could drop at any moment, although that's feeling more like a next year kind of thing at this point. But yeah, everyone's just getting their stuff out this week, and it really feels that way.
Yep, exactly. From Beef Hammer, Sean, I'm glad you're here with Jeff to address this. What is your response to the serious allegations going around that Sean is misusing his portion of the Giant Bomb money to pay Rachel to re-review DMC5 at GameSpeed and get rid of Mike's disgusting 7 out of 10 review now that he no longer works there? Look, Beef.
What he does with his money is his business.
Be cool. We said this earlier in the episode. Be cool. You know?
Yeah.
People don't gotta know.
That's I didn't like play a ton of Devil May Cry 5. I played some and I got it. I was like, this is a pretty good game. I was surprised Mike didn't like it more. I've always been surprised he didn't like it more.
It is one of the greatest action games ever made, and action game fans feel the same way.
I guess he's just not an action game fan. He's in like a Donkey Kong ride kind of fan. That's all he's into. Yeah, get out of here.
I mean, that game is kind of cringe as fuck, so I cannot understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. From Absurd Ziggy, is Other M worth playing in any capacity? I know it has connection to the best Metroid game, Metroid Fusion, but I don't know if it's even worth kicking the tires with such a limited amount of time to play games. Sorry for always misspelling your name, Sean, and they spelled it right there, so thank you. And genuinely appreciate all the effort and content.
I tried playing it a few years ago, and I was like, this is mostly useful to understand why people don't like this game. That's kind of what I came away from. Like, even when I was like being very forgiving and being like, okay, I get it. We don't have to like freak out because this is not what Metroid's going to be going forward. We know that now. So that's like sort of, that specter's gone. I could sort of just let that go and judge this game in a vacuum. And even then it's like, its highest moments are still pretty mid. So I don't know. You decide based on that.
I would say if you have an easy way to play it right now, if you're like me, you just like have a Nintendo Wii hooked up back there, ready to go, it's worth trying.
Yeah.
But I would not go out of your way. It's like, it's fine. It's good, but not that good overall, is what I would say. From Drummond J, when Mikey gets back, will you fix the IGN top 100 Nintendo games list? Oh no.
Is that a new list that happened? Did we talk about that one before?
I think it's a new one
already. Oh, they did a new one?
This is just Nintendo games. I don't think we did that. Top 100 Nintendo.
I think that came out like a week or two ago, if I saw that right.
Yeah, I mean, let's see here.
We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We'll make the world right.
What happened, and how can we blame Mikey O'Leary for it?
We can always blame Mikey O'Leary.
We can always, yeah.
Number 100 is Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. Are there 99 Nintendo games better than that? Probably. I think that's probably correct. Let's see.
I actually don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Number 15 is Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Are there 14 Nintendo games better than that, Sean?
14, maybe. Yeah, I would say maybe.
Metroid Prime is 13. Okay, we'll see. Ultimate is 11. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is 10. Okay, that's bold, but I might even agree. Then A Link to the Past, Super Metroid. Number 7 is Chrono Trigger. Oh, so we're just like games on Nintendo systems.
Wait,
is what we're talking about.
Chrono
okay.
Trigger? What?
What's
this list?
I don't. Yeah. Let's see. Is that because? No, they're just saying published by Square. I'm like, did Nintendo publish that for DS or something? No. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is 6. Number 5 is Tetris. So this is just games on Nintendo platforms. Number 4, Super Mario Odyssey. Number 3, Super Mario World. Number 2, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And number 1, Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
It could be worse.
Yep. Could be much worse. But we'll fix it anyhow.
Sure. There you go. From Bander, maybe something to circle back to after playing Prime 4, but how is this year shaping up for the Switch 2 and in comparison to the Switch 1? Keep in mind that Switch 1 had an extra 3 months and Odyssey was a late October game. It would come out late January if the timelines were the same. With Prime 4, is the Switch 2's lineup as good as 2017. And I believe he has also provided a Google sheet that I might check out here.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that the first year of the Switch 1 was sort of like had like kissed by God in a lot of ways. It was just like kind of this perfect scenario of all these games and Nintendo having some stuff they were making for the Wii U that lined up for the Switch instead. So that was better. That was clearly better. I think it's also there's been some misses on the Switch 2 with like Drag and Drive and Mario Kart World being a little disappointing. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was some other stuff where I was like, oh yeah, that didn't hit as well, but I'm not thinking of it. I don't know. And then Kirby's Air Riders has been a lot of fun. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisoment's been really fun. There's been some ones that have been surprisingly good as well. So I don't know. It kind of evens out a little bit, but I prefer 2017 over 2025.
Yeah, I'm looking at the spreadsheet he provided, and he is sort of talking like in general, including like, you know, third parties and indies, how is sort of just like the launch year in general for the platform. I see the argument that if you count things, you know, like Silksong and Hades 2 being on there and stuff like that, there's definitely an argument to be made for the Switch 2.
Yeah,
I just think maybe you and me are together and like, hey, Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and
Odyssey.
Like, and Odyssey and for me Splatoon 2, like that,
Golf Story, even
it's tough to compete with that. But I think thinking about it, I would say that the Switch 2 has been a bit of a disappointment. But if you factor in everything, because you know I like a lot of PC stuff, I'll play everything on Switch. It's really good. It definitely is.
God, that Mario Tennis Fever game's out in February. That's crazy. All right.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Input name here. Do you have a favorite depiction of Samus? I liked the original Prime face reveal before she got yassified for Zero Mission.
Yeah, that's good. I Dread has been my favorite Samus depiction. She's just so cool. She does have we talked about it. There's a voice actor for that game. She has one line in the game and it hits so goddamn hard. She like speaks some weird language, some space language, and it rules. So
we are the Metroid.
Yeah, she's we have become the Metroids. Yeah, and it's like very
there's technically 2 voice lines, and that second one hits pretty damn hard.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah, God, it's good stuff in that game.
Dread is just a fantastic game. I really, really like that. And yeah, it probably is my favorite depiction of her overall. Let's see. Bikes and Brews, where will Prime 4 rank in the Metroid franchise, do you think? Yeah. I imagine for a lot of people, it will be number 2.
I think it's going to be number 2 for most people, actually.
Oh, I guess in the Metroid franchise in general, a lot of people are going to say 3.
Okay, yes. I thought it was just Prime. Yeah, for the Metroid franchise, for Prime, it'll be 2. For the Metroid franchise overall, yeah, it could easily be the third best one. Yeah.
Behind Super and Prime 1, because that's the way a lot of people view it.
It'll be behind Dread for quite a few people as well. So 3, 4, 5 in that range.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, so somewhere, wow, that's weird to think that like maybe somewhere in the middle. Okay. Yep. From Crisp Rat. Does Metroid Prime 4 break the magical 3 million copies sold? Yeah.
I think it does. Yeah. I mean, does it do much more than that? I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. But I think it'll do more than 3 million.
Yeah, because keep in mind it is a cross-platform game. It runs well on Switch 1 as well, and just in general. I think Switch Effect will pick that one up a little bit. Like I said, not too much more. Around that 3 million. It'll probably sell like 4, maybe 5.
You notice that this game did not leak on torrenting and piracy websites for the Switch 1 version. Because I think Nintendo, if they were sending out physical copies, like definitely prioritize the Switch 2 version specifically because of that. They're like, hey, we could just like
that would make a lot of sense.
We'll just send out the Switch 2 versions. The Switch 1 versions will just like lag behind a little bit, and that way it's not going to be on the internet 2 weeks earlier or whatever. And yeah, it wasn't.
New way of combating that, I guess.
Yep.
Always be clothing. Heyo Doggos, since Mike is out, what's your goatee opinion that you think would make Mike the angriest?
God, yeah. Let's see. What are his darlings?
Apple of the year, yeah.
I mean,
I'm trying.
In the past,
what's at the top of Mike's list right now?
I mean, I think it's Expedition 33. I think that's going to be his game of the year.
Yeah. That's high on my list too.
Yeah, I mean, I like that game a lot. So that's
French.
It is, yeah. That's what if we held that against it? In the past, I think Mike would have been a little shittier about me like putting games like Sectori and Baby Steps very high on my list. He's like, yeah, but what about real video games? But that was past toxic Mikey. He's definitely like ready to respect my opinions on those things these days.
He pulled down you so hard with Vampire Survivors.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And that was the old Mikey coming back out to play. Even that was better than in the past, where he's just like, these aren't real games. He's definitely said that before. But I think at this point, I don't know. I'm like, what? Yeah, beyond saying that Expedition 33 isn't that good, which is not something I believe. I don't know how I could offend him. I don't know. I'd have to think.
I think it also helps that like me and Mike have pretty similar tastes in particular. So like we usually just butt heads about like how much we like each thing. And so like I guess for me it would be like I seem to like Shinobi way more than he does. I guess that's the only point I can see us maybe arguing a little bit.
Yeah,
I think I'm his kryptonite. I'm
you are.
Can get it like whenever I talk about Final Fantasy remake, he really gets up about that.
That's true.
I do too.
Yeah. Everyone gets mad at you for that.
No one's ever said what you say about
No, that's true. You say I got a lot of people on my mentions being like, you're right about Final Fantasy VII remake. They might be the boss.
Oh yeah, your sock puppet accounts maybe. Yeah. I could imagine Mike playing Dispatch and feeling the same way he does about other Telltale games, and me still being like, that's one of the best games of the year, and that might make him angry. But again, I think he's trying to be a little bit more open-minded about that stuff. So we might not be able to make him angry. Who am I kidding? It's Mikey. We'll find a way.
We always do. From James Pies, which lesser-known dormant Nintendo franchises do we need to see reappear on the Switch 2? F-Zero, Star Fox, Punch-Out are the big name callouts that come to mind. But damn it, give me another mystical ninja Goemon.
Those Goemon games run really good on the Analog 3D, by the way. Yeah, people should check that out if you have an Analog 3D. Yeah, I would, obviously for me it would be Punch-Out. Punch-Out had like the arcade game is rough, but all the other Punch-Out games are phenomenal. They're like some of the best games on each of the respective devices. And all they need to do is find a way around the stereotypes. You don't have to make every character a stereotype, and then you can bring that series back and we can all just be happy again.
You could do something like maybe regional stuff, like, a Texan, for example, something like that, maybe.
Or
from Italian.
Stereotypical jobs. You could do that. You could beat up an accountant, right? But you can't beat up a Japanese person whose name is Honda. Yeah,
beat up someone who's like very Boston and speaks with that accent or something like that.
Right,
like,
you can do a lot of American stereotypes. You're right. That you can get away with.
That's where I'm coming from, because they're a North American studio. If they were making it,
Yeah, right. Bring back Bear Hugger though, the Canadian. That's just good fun. That's good, clean fun. Yeah, he lives with a beaver or something. They really got the Canadians with that.
Well, all the Bostonians in chat are just like, what the hell? I didn't even say anything bad.
Go pocket cars.
Star Fox. Star Fox. Yeah, like excluding Pokemon, because I kind of consider that a separate thing. Star Fox is my favorite Nintendo series behind Metroid, so like, just that's another one that seems like people are just never happy with.
Yeah,
if it's not Star Fox 64, people are mad, Jeff.
Yeah, even worse with that one in a lot of ways. That one has like no room to work with. That's why Nintendo's like, we're not even gonna fucking try anymore.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. From Stinky, shout outs to the dogs. Just got a copy of the official Stardew Valley cookbook. What game do you want a cookbook for? And I think I'm pretty sure this exists. I think even like the Yeti or someone did. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I think there is that, and I would like that as well. A Kirby cookbook would be fun. There's always great food in Kirby games. I guess it could be like a baking cookbook, so making sweets and stuff like that. I just heard a fun fact that it was a poet that was a struggling poet in like the 1820s or the 18 teens that was just like, I'm struggling here. I need to make some money. And they came up with the concept of cookbooks, and you could still find that cookbooks. You could find the first one ever. And I really want to make a recipe from the very first cookbook in human history. That sounds like a good time.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
See, I seen a video of someone trying to do that, and they were like, all the measurements in this shit are useless. Because chickens used to be double the size or like half the size. I don't remember which one, but it was so different.
I'm sure it was half. I'm sure it was half the size. We pumped those fuckers with so much steroids. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, yeah, they probably use baby's handful in the way that Jan does, but seriously, they're like, no, we know exactly what a baby's handful is supposed to be. Yeah.
I'm skipping just a few here in the interest of time that are redundant. You know,
all the racist ones, right? Okay.
Oh, that too, obviously. But thank you everyone who sent in. You know, I pinged everyone, so we got a lot of submissions tonight. But just last few here. Sludge Reinhold. From everything I've seen, Metroid Prime 4 seems to be one of the best looking and technically performing Nintendo games ever made. How does this game make you feel about what other developers, first or third party, might be able to get out of the Switch 2 in the future? And Jeff, the word that comes to mind is optimistic.
Okay, I'll be optimistic. I've been relatively optimistic about the Switch 2 so far in terms of performance and what is possible. Obviously, Star Wars Outlaws continues to be like the big like indicator there that good things are possible, even with games that have like ray tracing built into their tech. You know, Metroid Prime 4 is only going to be so much of an indicator because they're using their own engine, as far as I'm aware. Probably the stuff that they use for Metroid Prime 1 remastered. But you know, if people take their time, they can get similar results. It's just like which studios can afford to take that time. It's not going to be all of them.
Yeah. I think the thing to keep in mind is that Switch 2, you know, it's around that like more PS4 level of power, which is really good for a handheld, but you know, it can only do so much. So at this point, it's just impressive that we are seeing very solid performing versions of those games, like you mentioned, kind of have like ray traced global illumination and stuff like that. That can be heavier, but because the Switch 2 supports stuff like that, we can just see solid ports of current gen games. I think that will start to peter out, you know, in the distant future, because assuming the Switch 2 lasts around like 7 or 8 years, like the Switch 1. Yeah, that'll slow down a little bit at some point, but I think, yeah, just I'm optimistic in general with what people are going to do.
Same.
Let's see. Jedi Moss 4. What's the coolest visual effect of the Prime games, and why is it Samus's face reflecting in the visor? Still looking forward to this and other amazing visual touches in Prime 4. And I do think that's just like one of those nice things that really does sell it for me.
It's
Jeff.
one of those things you would read in reviews and be like, "What are they even talking about? That's not possible.
You can do that?
That's crazy." And then you experience it for the first time. It's like that. I'm gonna go blow a bunch of like missiles at this wall so I could see that effect over and over again. I was playing Metroid Prime 3, and it's like, oh, they knew what they had. I think every time you bring up the visor, the scan visor in that game, your face is reflected the whole time you're doing that. At least in the emulated version I was playing. Maybe that's not how it's supposed to work. I don't know.
From JD Camp, who would play John Metroid in a Metroid movie? Perhaps a cool guy who watches this show.
Yeah, my vote would always be for Chris Pratt, of course.
Exactly. Screw Brie Larson, get Chris Pratt in there, and he'll do a great job.
Oh yeah, he knows how cool Samus is.
And then last here from Grant, which Muppet is Jan going to present an award alongside at the Game Awards?
Probably that little shrimp guy, or the rat. God, what's his name? I think that Jan and that rat would get up to no good in LA together, and they'd have a good time. But we'd have to like send out someone to go rescue Jan from whatever stupor he would end up in. Rizzo the rat. Thank you.
For some reason, Rizzo, we got that Rizzo.
Yeah.
For some reason, the idea of Jan trying to cooperate with Animal is very funny to me. I don't know why.
He's already got to deal with me. He doesn't need to deal with that with Animal as well.
He's so experienced.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, and that's going to do it for the mailbag tonight. Again, thank you everybody who sent one in. If I didn't read it, again, it was just in the interest of time because we got so many tonight, but we appreciate all submissions.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sean, for putting in that work of gathering those up and reading all of those. I appreciate it. Let's take one more break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what we've been playing and clear up those the rest of those super chats right after this. All right, we're back. Sean, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Metroid Prime Remastered.
Hey.
I wanted to play something to get in the mood for this. I kind of want to like fire up each of them a little bit to sort of just like get in the mood, get a reminder of how the series is and how the different versions of the series are, even though I'm pretty familiar with them. I play Prime 1 like at least once a year, and then the other ones I do fire up every couple of years. But Prime 1 Remastered specifically, I've only played through once, and I actually captured a little footage for something that I want to do in the video version of the Giant Bomb review. And that game just looks so amazing. It just is incredible that that is a Switch 1 game, is running on a tablet chip from like 2014 it originates from. And really all I would want out of that version of that game is like a 4K boost on Switch 2. And I think it would still look just fantastic. But yeah, like there's a reason that people hold Metroid Prime in such high regard, because it is just an incredible experience. It is still just so much fun to play. Why Metroid is so good in general. You have that incredible first experience, and keep going back, do things better, improve upon like your speed run time that's built into the game and everything. And the Prime games just feel fantastic to play. So yeah, I was having a really fun time just revisiting that a little bit, revisiting an old friend, kinda, you know.
That's another one that's like Armored Core 6. I think about every day and could replay at the drop of a hat at any moment. It's one of the reasons I'd have to choose games that I've already played or that have been out up to this point for that question. I just can't not play Metroid Prime again. That's a game like, you know, I'm 42. There's a chance, like I play that game through like optimistically 5 more times in my life. Maybe that's a lot. I probably won't do that. Right. I know. Not to be morbid, but it's like the game's super special to me. I want to go back to it whenever I can. I'm glad you're playing it again. It's fun.
Yeah. I think the other big one, is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. I really like what they've done with the Nintendo Warriors games, and how they have really figured out that by making it more of a traditional action game, they just scale back the Warriors, the Muso of it all a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, they did that in a different direction with like Persona 5 Strikers, where that very much is still a Muso game, but they added the RPG stuff. For the Hyrule Warriors games on Switch and Switch 2, they've just like scaled it back a little bit, and I think it works really well, because then you can focus more on like doing the combos you want to do, doing the moves you want to do, and seeing those awesome finishing moves and specials and stuff, the supers and stuff. The team up supers are so cool. You know, you have like Zelda high-fiving Rauru, and then they both get the gigantic, you know, Iron Man proton cannons, and some of the stuff they do with some of the things are so cool, because like that one in particular, like some of them are power-ups that like assist you in battle. That one is they both remain stationary, and the analog sticks control the proton lasers that they each have, so you can point them in different directions. You can like point one at the crowd and then one at a boss. You can focus in on a boss. Like, God, it's moments like that that are really cool in these games, and I think it was smart of them to seemingly plan from the beginning. We're still not going to have a lot of story in the Breath of the Wild lineage of games, so there's not a ton of that in Tears of the Kingdom. We put it over here.
Yeah, it's great over here.
Instead. Yeah, it just works super well having all of those cutscenes. It's more of what you would expect in this style of game. And like, this is a canon thing that happens. Zelda gets sent back to the past and like has to like, you know, do what she does to get back to where she is in Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm really curious to actually see how we get to that point. And like, there's so many cool little fan service moments of like seeing how Ganondorf becomes Blight Ganon and everything like that. I'm having a great time with this game, Jeff. Way more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I think it turns out that a lot of the stuff that makes this game good has been in these Hyrule Warriors games from the beginning. It's just now at the Switch 2 obviously unlocks all the ways to enjoy that, because you're not miserable due to the performance. That goes a long way. And I think you're right. They just make a lot of smart decisions. They pare back where it makes sense. They pile on where it makes sense, like with the story here. It's like, oh yeah, you know what? I like all these characters quite a bit. Seeing them interact is also quite a bit of fun. And then that carries over into the action where the characters are still sort of interacting or chirping a little bit at one another. And then you get to do all the extremely fun team up action things, and I don't know, it's so over the top like these games always have been, but the spectacle is married with the Zelda-ness in such a strong way that I can't help but respect it. It's a surprisingly competent video game.
Exactly. That's pretty much it for me. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I spent all my time with Sectori. I could say, thankfully, I'm at a point now where I think I could put it down for at least a little bit until I'm sure Jacob Geller or one of these other monsters comes and takes my spot here at the top of the mountain. I'm number 17 in the world right now, and it took about 20 hours of gameplay to get there, which seems pretty normal. I was looking at everybody else that sort of set a pretty high score. Lord Beef, I don't know if anyone follows him on Twitter and Blue Sky. He's in the top 10 in the world, and he's got 30 hours. So I'm like, okay, man, I might have to, if I want to like catch up to him, I probably have another 10 hours of gameplay in there. But whatever, I'm going to be happy with beating Dan and Jacob and Chris Person and stuff like that. And then we'll see if one of them comes back and gets me. But because that is now I'm number one right now out of that group, I'm going to go back and play some other games. I will probably actually play a little bit more Hyrule Warriors. I was already planning to, and now us talking about it's like, oh yeah, I was really enjoying that game. But it's cleanup time for Game of the Year. It's I'm booting up Shinobi next at your request specifically. Yes. So
good. When it hits you so hard.
Is that on Switch? That's on Switch, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I'll just play it on there. I can't remember if that version had any issues.
Vengeance.
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah.
I know. What Ninja Gaiden Ragebound did, but they fixed that on Switch.
That's what it was. It was Ragebound that had issues. Yes, that's right. Yeah. I loved Ragebound so much. You played both, and you prefer Shinobi, right?
Yes, by a lot. And it
is
because there's sort of the debate of like, oh, this one does combat good with platforming bad, and then vice versa. I think they both do each well. It's just that Ninja Gaiden is focused on the platforming and Shinobi is focused on the combat. And as a big character action game person, I love the one that has more combat focus, which is Shinobi. You know, we've had quite a few like sort of middling action games come out recently. Even like I said, like Ninja Gaiden 4 didn't quite hit with me, even though it being platinum this time around. I found what I wanted of all of that in Shinobi, which I did not expect, and that is awesome. By the way, I did check out Sectori after I saw you talking about it over the break. Fun game. I like it too. It's one of those games, kind of like a Neon White or something.
Yes.
You definitely like it more than I do, but I respect it because it's a very fun game. And I don't think I'll get as into it, but I see why you are into it.
Yeah, it's definitely like this is a round peg that fits in that slot in my brain sort of game. Where it's like, oh, I could just, the run I was on tonight, the world went blank, and I was seeing the Matrix, and it was just like, oh my God, in the plan I had came together. It was like, I'm going to try this build this time because I'm feeling pretty good about it. And you know what it is? It's for as much as Billy Mitchell sucks, his perfect run of Pac-Man is one of the more impressive video game accomplishments, because it's not he was not learning patterns of like, oh, I'm going to do the maze in this way, and that's how you get the perfect score in Pac-Man. He learned the behavior of each ghost and internalized that. So you knew if I'm here and these ghosts are all there, I go in this direction. You kind of have to do that in a game like Sectori or Geometry Wars, because there's all these different enemy combatants that have all these different behaviors. And it takes a minute to be like, okay, if I'm dealing with this one that comes right at me, that one that goes in a random direction, that one that bursts at me, takes a break, and then bursts at me again, and this one that always dodges my gun and like goes around me and tries to like get on my flank. And if I'm dealing with all of those at the same time, what can I possibly do to ensure my survival? And it takes a while to sort of like, it's a combination of looking for the safe path and upgrading in the right way so that you can sort of blast your way through everything, but that's not always going to work. So you also have to use the dash move, and you got to use that sparingly and know when to do it, and kind of look for the safe spot or look for one of the tokens to pick up. So that causes an explosion and catches a bunch of them, and you get all of their little upgrade chips. There's so many of these like layers of gameplay mechanics that you have to...
The juice, man.
Yes, and you have to like get on its wavelength. and doing that process is very rewarding for me. I really jive with that sort of thing, and Sectori's got it in spades. So yeah, very good game. But
one more I want to sneak in here since we're on the Nintendo show. Just I'm not gonna say anything about every night before bed, thing that I do to fall asleep, I play Mario's Picross on my Metroid Pocket Classic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I just great game. I love Picross, and I've never played that or the Super Famicom. Right, it was only Super Famicom. So
that's right. Yeah,
you can fire that up after this one.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, man, it's all, and then it's all just like, if I was playing anything Nintendo specifically this week, it was Metroid Prime 3, and was enjoying that quite a bit. But I'm ready for 4 now. All right, let's.
Did you play 3D Picross from 3DS?
I did not. No, that's the one you like, right, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Picross 3D is amazing. Yes, it's really good.
Yeah. I got into Picross when my Nintendo did the Twilight Princess one. I had just like never bothered with the franchise, I guess, before. I played that on my 3DS. I think it was around Thanksgiving even, so I sort of associated with the holidays. I was like, oh, this is so my shit. This is so my jam.
A very good logic puzzle. It's one of the better logic puzzles. It's up there with Sudoku and stuff like that for sure.
Exactly.
You guys both played Demon School. A little bid. People's opinions on this game are all over the place, but I think most people are like, yeah, it's got some stuff I really like and some stuff I don't. How'd you guys find it?
Christian, I think you might have more to say. Do you want to lead?
I have a couple hours in it, so it's not. This is not a JRPG. Yeah, this is a JRPG. I don't care what people say. If you like French fries, you don't need to be in France. This is the inspiration is strong on this one. So come on. It is inspired by those early Persona games, those isometric looking ones. The combat is not the same. The combat were just turn based. This is more tactics like. But not so much. It's more puzzle. It feels more like a puzzle when you enter the combat.
Sure.
Than a tactics, because you're not.
A lot of tactics games feel that way, though. I think a lot of tactics games are secretly puzzle games.
It is specifically saying you will get a bonus if you finish within X amount of turns.
Okay,
and that's the puzzle of it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and you don't put down your units. Like you have a fixed party of characters. They always start the same lineup and everything. So. It's fun. I've been liking it so far. I haven't clicked with the characters yet, just because I haven't had that much time to learn the backstory and stuff. Because that's the thing about JRPGs. It's this is not like a slog. It's not like slow game, but you need to know the characters to know if you're gonna like them. So I'm still learning that. And the gameplay is pretty good. I'm glad they just took the good stuff from those games, because I tried to play the old Persona games and they're just
it's not
impossible.
They're hard to go back to.
They're so hard. Even the ones they're like, this is the one that came out for the PSP, and it's it has better stuff. Even those are just not good for if you can't stand that old type of the maps and everything, how you move around. This one is more snappy and everything. So I've been liking it so far. I still haven't clicked with the characters, and the characters are the thing that I kind of like about the JRPGs more than kind of the combat, that kind of stuff. So how far along are you, Sean?
I'm around the same as you, just a couple hours in. I only just started up the other night, and I think I kind of just echo what you have to say about it. Of I just don't love it yet right now. It hasn't quite clicked, but I'm so early on. Only a couple hours into an RPG. You never know who could get introduced or what mechanic really makes it click with you. So I kind of just want to keep going with it. I will say the whole very demonic theme to it is usually not my jam, but it's someone in a Steam review I saw or something said that's very Saturday morning cartoon, and once it gets rolling, I'm like, oh yeah, it is kind of light-hearted.
I see that. I kind of noticed that vibe in some trailers.
So it's not super dire, especially in the way that from what little I played of Persona 1 2, it kind of are. So I click with this more than those old Personas, but it hasn't quite sunk in yet. So I'm still kind of interested to keep going with it, because it seems like it's doing some cool stuff there. Jeff, the puzzle of the combat is at least so far what I've gone to, is it's just melee combat, but you basically have one character pull enemies into the different grid spots, and then the other character hits them, and it's a domino effect. So you can get multiple knockouts if you knock enemies into each other.
Does sound like Into the Breach. Okay.
Okay,
I
sure.
love Into the Breach.
Kind of, yeah.
Right. But it's like, I think Jan was saying that there's not a ton of the tactics element early on. Like there's more of the other stuff. I don't know. Maybe I misheard, but
I think it's just because it's more puzzle than tactics. You're not necessarily like planning your team, at least in the early game, to like have like the Fire Emblem weapon triangle kind of thing like that and everything. It's more about just like, can you figure out how to accomplish this task in X amount of turns?
Yeah, to the point where they let you rewind a lot. Like you can rewind every move before you commit to your move because you plan it and then everybody moves. It's kind of cool. You plan all the moves and then you execute them, and when you execute them, they kind of all happen at the same time.
Oh, cool.
So it kind of looks like a nice, like a cutscene almost.
Yeah, like
an actual
like
fight.
Tights in Fight Space or Fights in Tight Spaces or something like that, where it's like it plays it back.
Kind of like that, yes. Yes, where you like cue your moves and then they all play like one after the other. But it's cool. You don't what I was about to say. I totally forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, I was like, oh, you don't at the beginning you don't have all the characters, and the characters kind of like act differently. So there's a character that doesn't fight, is a healer, but you can still push people into him. And he will like defend himself, like he will like self-defense, he's okay with self-defense. So he can attack, but you can put it in a place where you can pull someone else and push all other 3 enemies into him, and that will like kill everybody in the line. So it has that kind of like dynamic with the characters.
Yeah, it's cool.
I will be interested to hear like a little bit more if anyone plays any more of it. I don't know. I won't be surprised also if like this is one that kind of falls by the wayside as like stuff like Metroid comes along.
Yes.
Yeah. I also spent a lot of time with the analog 3D and playing stuff on there.
It looks so good.
It's really really good. I'm saying it in a bunch of places now, but it's a N64 Pro. And
it's a good way of playing it,
and I highly recommend it. At this point, it's like it has fully won me over, and I think it justifies its price and everything. With the caveat of you have to have some interest in the N64. I think this is a real fun way of like if you have had a burning curiosity about that system, this is a real great way to experience that stuff. It's not the cheapest way, obviously. Go emulate that stuff if you'd rather just kind of dabble. But if it's time to get serious, boy, this is the ideal way to play most of those games. There's going to be some exceptions, but generally speaking, it has been the best way to play these games. I'm really, really happy with it. We'll have a quick look going up on Giant Bomb here pretty soon.
It should be tomorrow that I'll put that up. It's taking me a little to upload. I'll probably do it overnight because we're doing a 4K video, so we can show off all the little details in as high quality as we can provide on YouTube.
Yep, exactly. Also, yes, this is not my Halloween skeleton. You could see up there he's wearing a turkey on his head, so he's the Thanksgiving skeleton. So I still have my Thanksgiving decorations up. I need to put a Santa hat on him instead.
Put a Santa hat on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's an 8-foot skeleton. I think this is where he's just going to be now. I don't want to take him apart. So
that's pretty cool.
Chuck, I need to. He just wants my GPU and some RAM. I need to send that to him. We have to talk about.
I was going to ask you about that after the show.
Yeah, I was going to put my 4090 in my old machine, but it's the 4090 is it's like 2.5 slots and it wouldn't fit. So you got to tell me if that will fit your system. And if it does, I'll send you the 4090 instead. If it's still better than what you have.
Mini ITX build, Jeff.
Okay, so we'll have to figure it out. We'll come up with something. Yeah, that was my issue. Is I was trying to put it in something a little bit smaller. Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay. Any other super chats?
Yeah, we got a few of them here. Oh, okay. We'll hit these real quick. From House of Herman, shamelessly stealing this from Tim Geddes. Which 12 characters would you include in an animated Smash Bros. Movie, probably by Illumination?
Okay. Well, let's
Mario?
get Mario out of the way. Okay, so there's Link. Mario, Link. Who's the like? It's got to be like Mario, Link, and at least
Kirby.
Peach or Zelda.
Oh, Kirby. Yeah.
Yeah, Kirby. Yeah, for
Kirby.
sure.
Peach probably.
Okay.
Especially after like the Mario movie.
Right.
One of the hot Pokemons. When will people like to fuck?
Lucario. No, Pikachu.
I think
No,
Pikachu, but I also think there's a potential like the Pokemon show up in like the second movie or something like that. It's like that's a big surprise. That's the teaser.
Pikachu's
That's the
huge,
stinger.
though,
I know you're right for sure. Okay, so that's was that 4 or 5? Do we get a Marth or a Roy?
Yeah,
Or
we
so-
need a Fire Emblem character.
We need
I think
a
it
Fire
would
Emblem.
probably be Marth.
Okay, Marth. All right, so that's 6-ish.
6. Yeah, it's 6. Captain Falcon.
Okay.
Kids know Captain Falcon as that Smash character, Jeff.
Knuckle Punch.
I believe it. Yeah. I think is there do they have to like pay forward like a modern game like Splatoon? Like would the Squid
Ooh.
Kid be in there?
Kids love the Inklings. That's a good
Yeah.
call.
Okay.
Inkling is probably a good one.
Is this a no Goku's? I mean, so only Nintendo. That's what I'm. That's
I think it would be like the after credits scene is something wild, like if they could
okay.
get Joker or something.
Joker. I was about to say that.
Yeah. Banjo,
That's
maybe.
Right. Or a snake.
Fox. I think Fox. Fox is good.
Fox would be good. Okay. Samus.
Yeah, I was like waiting to put her in because let's be real, she would be silent, and that would probably be the gag.
Yes, that would be the whole joke for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sonic could be in there. He could.
Yeah. I would see it. I could see it at this point. Like Ness, Ice Climbers, no.
So like 1 or 2
Duck.
more.
Duck Hunt from Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
DK. They probably would do DK because of his movie.
They probably would DK. Yeah, I was like holding off because we have Mario and Peach already, but I think DK, yeah. Are we missing anything super obvious Nintendo wise? Otherwise, that's kind of a list right there.
Yeah, I think I think we have like one more slot maybe. Let's do the
Yoshi.
Oh, Yoshi or the ramen girl from Arms.
All right, Yoshi.
Oh.
Perfect.
And he's voiced by Sapney.
Benny Safdie, yeah, absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Min, by the way.
Min, yeah, that's right.
Arms is a good game. From the Drum Kid, can I have Days Sean for Christmas? Yes, check under your tree. They'll be right there.
Oh man, is that how we're delivering video content now? Oh shit.
Yeah, DVD. You know, Jan's been talking about the
That's
DVDs
true.
forever now.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my god! Do you saw a video of that Linus Tech Tip video where he watched Rambo in every single like format possible?
I've been meaning to. I've not watched it. Is it good?
It's good. It's
Okay.
good.
I might check that out.
VHS so much.
Okay.
Oh man.
Let me see. I need to adjust the window. Chronos Tin Man says Nintendo always gets called out for a lot of the bad stuff that people think are anti-consumer, but in Japan, Nintendo was number 4 in best places that college kids want to work at in Japan, which is something that gets overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, they should get credit for the positives, and they do seem like a place that people want to go and work at in a lifelong way, and they do seem like they treat people that work for them relatively well. Yeah, I don't. That doesn't negate the bad stuff, though, right? The things that they do that are anti-consumer are still anti-consumer. As much as I don't really love that term, they are at the very least hostile to a lot of the ways that I enjoy video games, which does involve emulation and distribution, the easy distribution of ROMs and stuff like that. They're kind of the big villain in that space. So it doesn't undo, like, one good thing doesn't undo the stuff that's very annoying about them.
Yeah, both can be true. You know, like it can be a good place to work if you get a full-time gig. They're not great with contractors.
That's right.
But,
yeah.
Also, yeah, it's a business. Like, you know, sometimes business do business things, and they deserve to be called out for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's often my position. Is like these companies are behaving in a way that's consistent with the way companies behave, and I kind of can only get so mad because that's the system.
From Passel of Hogs, hey Sean, did you ever finish 100-line Last Defense Academy? Where would you rank it on your top games of the year list? Thanks. I need to talk around this one. I got the primary ending of Last Defense Academy. If people have played the game, they know what that means. I'll tell you after the show, Jeff, because you'll be flabbergasted by what the truth is behind that one.
It is. Is this one of those, like, the nonary games when you see like you finish the game and then it's like bam, 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 everything unlocks and it's like a tree of like a bunch of endings? Does it show that like that?
So as to where it would rank in my top games of the year
oh my
list,
god! Oh no!
It was towards the top earlier in the year, but it kind of slips as games I like better come out. It's definitely my top 10 though. I liked it a lot, and like early in the year, it was probably my number one. But so it'll probably settle somewhere around like 5 or 6, I'd imagine. Cool. May 6, 7.
There it is.
Oof.
From Plufim, I'm gonna say indie game recommendation, Windswept. It's DKC 2.
Oh, okay. Sure. Hell yeah.
There you go. From Zombie Porn, first game you're playing after Giant Bomb Game of the Year stuff. I keep saying it over and over. I was like halfway through the Sakura Wars 2 fan translation. Getting back to that, and then a bunch of stuff we mentioned throughout the episode.
I will probably pick up that Game & Watch Zelda thing that Nintendo sold a few years ago that's been like sitting on my table next to my couch upstairs and play through Link's Awakening again. Something like that.
Such a Grubb answer, and I love it.
Yep.
And then last one here, Postman Dan, what's the last album you listened to in full and what grabbed you about it?
Man, I think this question's like what's the last one, as in like what's the most recently released one. But the last album I listened to in full was probably that new Sacred Cow Kenna album I always talk about. I these days not listening to a lot of albums all the way through. How about you?
The Metal Gear Rising soundtrack.
Yeah, okay, mine's something like that. That's probably the Donkey Kong Country
soundtrack, baby.
I have listened to a lot of the Expedition 33 one, not like all the way through on its own, but the music in that game is phenomenal.
There's a lot of music.
Oh yeah.
That's it, Jeff.
All right. Great work. I'm going to hit the button here. Let's get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Sean. Sean, why don't you tell people where they could find you on the internet?
Turbo Sean, SHAWN. That's where I am everywhere. That's Blue Sky. That's my dead Twitch and YouTube accounts. It's everywhere you want to find me. Of course, over on Giant Bomb doing stuff. Make sure to check out Dan's written review of Metroid Prime 4 on giantbomb.com. And I edited the video version for YouTube. I did some, I think, cute things with it. At least check out the intro. I'm proud of that intro.
It's good. Yeah, you did a great job. People really like that.
Thank you. And yeah, we'll keep doing stuff all the way through Game of the Year up until our break at the end here. And yep, I'll be behind the scenes for a lot of that editing.
I'd put the Wii Fit trainer in the movie. I think she'd be funny. That's a good comedic character.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
That'd be fun. I think that'd be a deep cut that a lot of people could recognize. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
It's Donald Duck for real?
Check Discord. Some of the stuff happening overnight. Check it.
Who's ready to nut?
Those are great liquid explosions.